So he got a hat. It said suspicious character on his hat. And I just about died laughing when I saw that. It was so funny. What is it? Very creative guy. Very sensitive guy. I bet.
Good evening.
Hey, Linda. Linda,
Yes.
I wanted to ask you something. There was just something that popped up for the first time on the screen saying your content will be shared,
Yeah.
audio and video. Is that something new or?
No, I think it's been doing it. Maybe it's just closes out before you notice it because it just pops up for a few seconds. And it's just to let you know that we are streaming live on YouTube. And then this is recorded and it's posted to our website. So that's what it is.
Thanks.
So
I thought that.
Yeah, so if you didn't want to be seen for any particular reason, you could just turn your camera off. Yeah, or change your name and, whatever. Hi, Chitra. Hi, Linda. Hi, Hamit. It's funny. You gave me a little bit of a like, because I was like, oh gosh, is it Monday?
No.
So, oh goodness, I've got too much going on right now. Just gave me a little start when I first saw your face. Like, oh, I'm not ready for Monday night. I'm ready for Wednesday night.
We have 2 more days.
Hi, Alex.
Gelek.
Hey, Rainey. It's good to see you.
Hello, Linda. Gelek.
Hey, Carmen. It's good to see you.
Hi, good to see you too.
Geshe is here.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening, Chitramatra. Wherever Lobsan Tamjo, good evening. Cameron, Alex, Sandra, Nico, Pati Panditji.
Please turn to page 35 in the Gold Prayer Book, and we'll start with the 7 prayer. Gosum gupe gone chatselo nge shami tu chudi malubu tomene sadi tuntam che shak kepa gewanam la sheyirang korwa matom badule june dola churki kolo korwadam da jengenam janchu chemporno. Now 97 and 98 for the short mandala offering and request to turn the wheel of Dharma. Saji perki shushing metok tam di dablin shi ni degen pari sangye shingdu mi te uwa yidoku namdak shingla che parshok jetsu lama dampa kenam kichurku kala kense chujin trik chitar tsampe tu jetsima la shab Geshe charpawab to serve idam guru ratamandala kamniryatayami. The Geshe will lead us in the refuge of bodhicitta prayer.
Sanje chodan soje chonam chanju pardon dani jabunje dagi chiji dola benje alanje no Sanje chodan soje chonam chanju pardon dani jabunje sunam je dola benje alanje Sanje chodan soje Dagi chishen jebe sunam je dola benje alanje no Sadala memena mi aje ombodo jaje lazo jeje jono jawan jeba namo sanje sunra rabdo jeje deve je Dedara jeje ya dambe chune jene deje namo laye keda puda neve tibo dada mi keda Doa konja nana jezaba tamje kedo dage chute to Hange tuze nyesu ne tawa tamje bombe je tambe chune dezeba Kodam de la chance lo Yeah, so then, yeah, we continue almost done with the concentrations, or samadhi or concentration. So, oh yeah, so now here I'll continue his holiness commentary. So, Jungjuji Dunga le Rani Sungju Chakube Jutses. Jungjuji Dunga means like upcoming problems, difficulties, problems, upcoming. Didn't happen yet, but it may going to happen, in the future. Jungjuji Dunga le Rani Sungju Chakube Jutses. Why? The reason why we should protect ourselves from upcoming difficulties, problem, challenge, complication, so on and so forth. Tata dunga nyungshibi nga tangsa. I now that's experiencing difficulties, self that experiencing difficulty at the moment, present moment, jungjula dunga nyue ngate chipa yimbe sosa. The I is the same. I, they're going to experience future difficulties. I, or self that's experiencing difficulty now, the self that's going to experience difficulty, upcoming difficulties, the same self. No, there's a reason why we should protect ourselves from upcoming difficulties or problems. Imbe so shenyamna mitete so. Nganzu ngawo nyambe lo yuji ngani namba chibi kiji ngaji junshi yin so. So this kind of like debate, so, almost the race, the questions are we should protect ourselves from upcoming difficulties because the self that experiences difficulty now at the present moment and the self that's going to experience future difficulty is the same thing, same self. That's the kind of argument they throw up there, right there. So, the notion of self, the self itself, the self is the object of, self is the object that, object of that as a notion, the self becomes the object of mind that sees self is the object of, self is the object. So that self, number shibi, kiji ngachi junshingas, number shiba, the consciousness. Ngachi, before and after, ju means continuation of momentary, first moment, second moment. Self is the continuation of the different moments, so first moment, second moment, third moment. It's the continuation of the self is the continuation of the consciousness moment of consciousness. Self is the continuation of the continuation of the consciousness. Self is the continuation moment of consciousness. Maomba dunga nyowa juwe ngane tata kichiki nga dile tateba yinsa. What is saying the first moment of self is different than second moment of self. Second moment of self is different than the first moment of self. because the self itself is the continuation, the momentary continuation of the consciousness. And within that moment, there's the first moment, second moment, third moment, the first moment of the consciousness. The self is the first moment of self is different than the second moment of self. Second moment of self is different than the third moment of self. It's not, the argument is the counter argument is not same. Self now experiencing difficulty now, the self that will experience future difficulties, the argument is like, it's the same. That's why, that's the reason why we should protect ourselves from the upcoming problem, because those two self they're experiencing difficulty now, self they're going to experience it in the future difficulty are the same. So then the counter argument is not same, because the self is the continuation of consciousness. And within that continuity has moments, first moment, second moment. First moment of self is different than the second moment of self. They are not same. Understood? Not that important, not that important. If you don't understand, that's okay, it's not that important. That's just debate, not that important. But I just read. Kalde nganzu suzu dungani suzu sa gyoba samba yina labe nganzu suzu dunganis suzu sa gyoba samba yina. If we think that the individual problem needs to be solved individually, if we think like that, labe kona sungyoba le luji chachishana sumit chisun this. So if that is the kind of argument, so then hand only take care of the hands, pain of the hand, and hand don't care other pain in the other part of the body, like the pain in the leg. So then the hand doesn't feel responsibility. Maybe leg needs to solve the problem of the leg, because hand nothing to do with the leg. So that was no religion and because there's hand and the leg, there's no relationship. That's the argument, so this is not that important. So the point boils down so that it's not very good practically, spiritually, practically is not really good just to think about yourself. It's not good. That's not how you gain something most out of this kind of mindset. Just thinking about oneself is not that great, because this practice is bodhisattva practice. In that, based on that practice, probably is not good. Generally speaking, also not gain much if you just think about yourself. When we discuss about self, person, self, when we talk about self and persons, when we have discussions about that, we are not talking about something that is like completely separate from aggregate. Completely separate from aggregate and completely separate from consciousness, meaning totally independent, not dependent, meaning not depending on consciousness and aggregate. So that's another kind of self that we are having discussions about. So then, so that object actually doesn't really exist. So that need to keep in our mind. 대단히 변하다. 마기 초보시라 마분세와 당스. 구바시라 주베 림보시 나라 게진스. 미다베 취지 소비 준실라 빠빠 잠신사 미다베 취지 소비 준실다 necklace could be there's like 25 like beads that makes necklace. There's like the collection of those things called necklace, not the individual beads called necklace. That's how it's called necklace. For example, like Chewa, same like rosary. You don't call one bead called rosary. The rosary is the collection of, in Tibetan traditions, 108 beads that's become rosary, not just one bead. You don't call rosary, but it's the combinations of 108 beads, then it's called rosary. Same like, Chewa, Mangso Shindu, yeah. So like it's like army is a group of soldiers. It's not just one individual soldier. There's like marks war. War is like fought by a group of army, and let's get special development country get more complicated navies. Navy, Air Force, then there's like a Marine, there's a military, all kind of things. Basically, this is all the collection of individual, the force become like army. So there's not like, there's just merely imputed 108 bits string together, then it's called merely level rosary. When you take apart, there's no rosary. Like even each beat plays important role. Such as like 5 aggregate plays important role of like calling yourself Geshe Gelek. So the whole aggregate is part of it. If you take apart all the aggregates, so then there's no you can't find Geshe Gelek, something like that. Same thing. I think even the said in Mahamudra teaching too. That's mainly imputed by Tetana, but Kalde Kansan Demba Matruba Ina, Dungan swing brother. If the self is not independent existence, that's how we experience, unfortunately, but we never analyze. That's how we experience self. It's like we experience independent self. We don't experience merely level self. We don't think. In order to experience merely level self, does require thinking, meaning meditations. Geshe Gelek was merely level on aggregate. We don't think like that. When you think of Geshe Gelek, so it's almost like there's like something inherent, like totally independent from aggregate. So, so then that concept changed when you see shunyata, when you experience shunyata, that concept totally changed. So right now we're trying to change our notion of self. The notion of self that we are so familiar is not merely level. Merely level means tobe partak sam. Merely level. That's not what we experience. We experience independent self. That's what we deal with day-to-day life. When you talk, eat, or sleep all the time. That's the kind of self that we kind of interact. Then that doesn't exist. So then who is experiencing suffering? When you swim, if that doesn't exist, then who is experiencing pain? Who's stressing out? Then why you're trying to overcome from suffering? Because the self that doesn't exist, self I'm so familiar with, that doesn't exist. So now wondering who is suffering, who is trying to work so hard to overcome the problem. Who is that? So then you kind of wonder, Dani demba matubashi hiya, Dani demba matubashi hiya. Hiya, tanya to tsame dunga dujimesa. Even the self that we are dealing with, that doesn't exist independently, it exists, is very much dependent on aggregate and consciousness. The self. In conventional level, nobody wants suffering. So, conventionally, nobody wants suffering. So therefore, everybody is trying to work hard to free themselves from the problem or suffering complications. Ultimately, till you experience or have some deeper level of understanding of what is shunyata, or maybe best experience, artificial or non-artificial experience, till then, everybody is dealing with the self that's very much inherent, independent. So there's in that regard, there's no differences between you and me. There's no differences. Conventionally, conventionally, nobody wants any problem. So in that regard, we are all same. There's no difference. So then wonder why you differentiate yourself from others. Differentiate. There's His Holiness comments from the root text. It is possible to think like this. It is possible to think like this. Daki ningje gomshin shinji dungaje kol. When you meditate on compassion, think about other people's sufferings. Dala ngani dunga chimbu gangla shinji dunga no bakona yimba. Something you may think, oh, I'm just thinking I'm top of my own problems. Now I've been thinking about other people's offerings, no, other people's suffering, offerings, other people's difficulties, problems. One may think like that. Why I should meditate on compassion? Why I should think about suffering other people, top of my own sufferings? That thinking is very much, I would say, possible. Somebody can think like that. Why we think like that? Because that our thinking is very narrow, small. We are not thinking big, we are thinking small. That's why I say you become more conservative, like why I should meditate on compassion, why I should think of other people's problems, because I have tons of problems, why I should think about that? So that clearly indicates that your thinking is very narrow. If you don't want to help others, then you change dunga la tameba. Then is ngaju duwana la pende du meze. Then you change dunga la tameba. When just why someone think like, oh, I don't want to help, because when I look around, the problem that seems like almost like limitless. There is really nothing I can do. It's not just one person that you worry about. You are talking about all sentient beings. That seems like how practically how it almost seems like impossible. When just ngadu ninje timbushi chenesa, chenje dunga de sewa, between chetu jesa, even just that is the case, but that is the case. That's like generally speaking, that's how we feel. Why I should make compassion? Why I should think of other people suffering, and other suffering seems like almost like limitless, like it's not feasible. Yeah, that's generally speaking that we are tend to think like that. But when you meditate on compassion a little bit, if you're trying to develop a little bit compassion, changing dunga put some effort to help others to feel better, make them feel better, make them feel safe, make them feel comfortable, little bit. Then you change dunga tell touch yoba juice. Then you may see that you may see the end of the problem, whatever problem that person might be going through. You may see if you do that, if you develop some compassion and put some effort to help that person, it's very possible to see end of the suffering for that person, end of suffering for that person. Just one person, I think. Right from the beginning, if you say, oh, I don't want to help, I have nothing to do with that person, so then you may not going to see the end of the suffering that person is going through because you are not interested. You have no interest to help. You don't sympathize. You have no interest to help. So then you are not going to see how that problem could end with your help, with your compassion, with your effort. So that's like impossible. You don't see that. Only that you will see and hope if you have some compassion, some little compassion, put little effort to help that person, then maybe you may see how that problem is going to end. nganzu samba jajin shela ninje jana tene pento chimbushire ti ji nganzu che sebi kanga chungjung kan yirung rindan damba shingsa. So that's very true. So rintang is value. So right now, there's the whole Tonglen practice is designed for. Right now, even though there's some value in our pain, another way to say is like every cloud has silver lining. But doesn't mean people see that. People see. But people say every cloud has silver lining doesn't mean everybody see that, even though it's there. So right now, any difficulties, or sitting here like next 20 minutes, trying to develop bodhicitta, trying to meditate on bodhicitta, and of course there's no physical discomfort. There's physical discomfort. This is not the most, easiest way of sitting. Easiest way of sitting, you just lean back in the sofa, stretch your leg. What do you call it now? You have like some tools that you can put your leg on.
Ottoman.
You have ottoman, the sofa, comfortable sofa. Ottoman, that's the easy way to sit. But this is not the easy way to sit. This requires some effort. But when you think, you make some meaning, you make some purpose, the hardship that you are bearing, or voluntarily bearing hardship, that you make some purpose, you make some meaning. So then that it has a value. It is a value. Am I making any sense? It has a value. Before it has no value. You don't see, even though it's a value, even though it has value, you don't see it because you don't like. So now, hardship. So like other, So see, not just in Buddhist traditions, people like, even in Christianity, people carrying heavy object to the holy side. There's no comfort. The cross they are carrying is heavy. So nobody forced them to carry anything, but they carry. But there's like willpower. There's a willpower. They see some value in that. They see, or maybe purify, or something, some kind of value they see. They are willing to, even though it's very hard, physically hard, they are willing to bear that hardship because that hardship has some purpose, some meaning. Doing full-length prostrations, yeah, not easy, but you see there's some meaning, some important meaning, some value. Then you see the value, so then it becomes like less problematic. But then you see the value. Say a monastery now is different. When I was there, there's no roof. The outdoor, they sit there hours. Only the chanting master, there's one big tree, chanting master, somehow he created good karma to sit underneath the shade of the tree. Rest of the monks in under the sun. What do? You can't get out. It has the 1 hour, 1.5 hour, you can't move, you have to sit there, it's the rules. Oh, mental exercise become very handy. The very heat that you're experiencing has meaning. You make meaning. It has purpose. So then, like say in India, the bird, especially the crow, there's monastery, there's a lot of crow. When the crow poop on you, good luck. It's good luck. It's called good luck. Instead of getting angry, is there true? Who knows? Is there true? Is there true? Who knows? What is the temporary benefit? You get excited, don't get angry. You get excited because that poop has meaning. The meaning is good luck, it has meaning. Is it true or not? Our mind creates. Our mind's the one create things. Thing doesn't create mind, mind create things. Thing doesn't create mind. The glass don't create your mind. The glass object doesn't create your thinking create. So it's very true. So then you sit there, because something switched in your mind, it has now purpose, it has meaning, it has a value. It becomes easier to bear. So you may not have experienced a bit, but back in the monastery, like 2 o'clock in the morning, all the way to 6 o'clock in the evening, sitting like this. 10-minute break here, 10-minute break there, all day long. Wake up 2 o'clock in the morning, So like, if you make your mind, then it has meaning. So then you feel good. When you feel good, so then the energy of the pain kind of decrease. When the energy of the joy increase, the energy of the pain decrease. They cannot exist simultaneously. One comes up, goes down, one goes down, one comes up, another goes down. So that's the thing. The meaning. So right now, any pain, don't let practice. Now it has some meaning, some value. Okay, so that's I think what he's also. Any physical pain because of meditations, it is valuable. For you, it's valuable. It's not worthless. It's valuable. It's not just pain. It has meaning. and easier to bear, meaning feel like less pain. Then, yeah, so so kind of like something much stronger inside is like activating something from deep down. So okay, 다 자주 sembanam dowa simje tamju tundu jiya drupe ba mase kalde duwe dunga je tsawa sewa pento ba yinje tana sujo soja tundu chizu. Therefore, Bodhisattva dedicated their entire life to help other sentient beings. When moment they see some benefit to do certain things, they will do to help. So otherwise, like Bodhisattva Siddhigarbha manifests as a pig living in the herd of pig. So when you look at what you can do, there's nothing. You can't teach them how to read and write. You can't teach them meditation. Why you manifest as a pig with a group of pigs and hang out with them? Meaning when they see some benefit, they will help. They will help. Doesn't matter small or big, they will manifest, they will do whatever way they can help. That's the Bodhisattva, okay? 다 인중기 고잔남비 전주 sembashila chen 인중기 고자 동아 첨부 용로 탐매비 심지지 동아 양도 땅에 대화티 디기여서 양도 땅에 대화티 디기여서 동아 첨부 용로 심지지 동아 양도 땅에 대화티 디기여서. So basically, whatever pain, whatever kind of pain that you go through, it has meaning, it has purpose, it has value. So then like Christ hang on cross. Yes, looks so like painful, like unlike imaginable pain, like but that's what we see. But the person is very much that pain has value, meaning, purpose. What is it? The purpose is nothing to do with you. It has to do with other beside you, other. So now, here, that person, I think the Christianity, they say like Jesus died for them. Yeah, it has point. So you can't just deny that it has point. Now the question is, do people understand what it really means or not? That's up to them. So any pain the Bodhisattva experience, it has a meaning, it is for others. In their minds, as I mentioned before, mind makes things. Things doesn't make mind. Mind makes things, meaning, purpose, value. So the thing doesn't, like makes those. Mind makes. So it makes perfect sense. 동아 첨부 미스모 용로서 탐매배 심지지 동아양도 땅에 대화 되게 되기였어. Because focus shifted. The way you think, the focus shifted. Focus not on your pain, it's on some much bigger. Focus totally shift. So that's why there's some joy is being generated, some level of joy, some degree of joy has been generated based on the pain that you're experiencing, that generated some degree of joy because the focus is not on the pain, focus on the other. So because of that, degree of joy is be generated, so that joy keeps you going. Keeps you going. It has purpose, meaning, value. It's not just all bad or like that. 동아 대화 되게 도원은 탈바로 괴베 난주 담자 돈이 소수 코네치도 배바더니 데레전 레버시다 있는. So just thinking about yourself. It's probably not meaning isolating yourself from others, isolating not connections. There's no affections with others. There's no connections. There's no relationship. So then, especially in development country, the young people, it's not reading the text. You hear from per person. Because the family value is not like it used to be 200 years ago. It's now different. Yeah, it is different. Of course, everything changed. But nothing changing in positive way. Less dependent, more independent, more choice. It's not bringing family together. It's not like preserving family value. It's like, not thinking, they are like older than me, maybe they have something to offer. Instead of that, what he knows, what she knows, I know everything. Things like that, arrogance, all like that. So, yeah, many complications occur, many complications occur. I think it's all very much boils down on like self-centered attitude. Self-centered attitude. Self-centered attitude. I make sure that everything goes well with me. Even then, with that kind of mindset, everything doesn't go well. Everything doesn't go well. If everything goes well with that kind of mindset, it makes sense. But it doesn't go well. Having the strong self-centered attitude doesn't guarantee that everything goes well. So so now the selfish, sharing happiness, joy, sharing, concerning other well-being. These are all positive things. It brings people together. It brings good value together. It brings positive things together. Once in a while you hear it from young people. What you can teach us, like how to improve the family value. There's many things like I say, people are not really things necessary, as being a lot of careless. That's how it's dying down slowly. So then, it's all we people make those things up. Things doesn't make us like this. We make these things up. So, for example, here in the West, living all family together, people look at like you are like over 18. Why are you still living with your family? In Asia, everybody lives together. There's the life. Everybody lives together. Everybody is together. There's nothing wrong. Now here, so like you see teenagers living with parents, always all of a sudden there's something wrong. So this kind of things is kind of unfortunate. But I'm not judging. I'm just saying what I see. And that's why I think there's some younger generation wondering how come that all the family live together peacefully there. First of all, that's not my choice. Second, that's their life. That's their life. So when I visited Philadelphia, the Amish,
Amish.
Yeah, Amish. So they live, whole family live together. So they live, the parents, children, grandparents, this whole like, they don't have nursing home. They don't have, they whole live together. I think it used to be like that 300 years ago, 250 years ago. Now you see each other, you hardly see each other. So then how you can develop affections, how to see each other. So there, these are all like many things that we make things up. Nge shen la rorom cheba nge giwe le mangbo sok si jing so. So now basically here, of course, this is Bodhisattva practice, and so much emphasis on working for well-being of other living beings. That's the way to receive much happiness. That's the way to go. Oh, so self-centered attitude is not good. Oh, not good. So that's what this is about. Ni shen la rorom chaba yina ni gewe le mangbu so si jings. Ngani gesim jinshi chakla she. Momba ra ngala deji denju re tabi samlo namya tong mirung she. So that practically, we should think practically. How much pleasure or happiness, whatever you call, sensory pleasure. Yeah, let's talk about the sensory pleasure, sensory happiness, sensory pleasure. How much did you get from yourself? From yourself. How much did you get from yourself? Just try to be practical, just set aside this guide to Buddhist way of life, just set aside, just think practical way. How much pleasure, sensory pleasure or happiness you get based on yourself? How much that generated from other people? Begin with shape and color. How much joy you get just looking at yourself? Yeah, when you go to a museum, you're looking something else. You are not looking at yourself. You're looking at art, the display there. How much from the five senses, from eye consciousness, how much happiness? Do we get happiness from eye consciousness or no? Huh? Dewa means happiness. Happiness by looking. Do you believe? Huh? Happiness by looking? Panditji says no. How come, Panditji? Happiness by looking, no?
Geshe, like, to me, it's the mind that sees the pleasure. The eye just looks at it, but the mind can get pleasure from it, depending on how you train it, I guess. How you interpret it.
Even the minds are not fully developed. The baby also get it.
Yeah.
Baby look at certain funny things, they laugh.
Right.
Their minds are not developed.
Right. So,
They can't make it. What is it? They just laugh. You probably move something there. They laugh for silly things. So you don't think there's like happiness by looking.
if you call that happiness, maybe there's a temporary.
If that causes so that word exists, Panditji, by the way. I'm not making this up. Tavet Dewa. If there's happiness by looking, there should be, there must be. Logically, it doesn't make sense. Happiness by hearing, happiness by smelling, happiness by tasting, happiness by touching. Same thing, these five senses. If there's happiness by looking, then there must be, logically, it doesn't make sense. There must be happiness by hearing. smelling, tasting, touching. This is called sensory pleasures. Sensory pleasure?
Yeah.
Do you believe in sensory pleasure? Panditji?
Yes. Yes.
Then how you say the sensory, do you believe in eye sensory pleasure?
It all depends on how you define pleasure versus happiness. I can see something and say it's nice because I've always seen it as nice in my head. Right? I've created that in my head.
No,
So,
of course, you are the one, as a person, you experience the pleasure,
right.
but generally from your eye sensory, eye sense.
Eyes are just looking, and then the mind interprets the happiness. The eyes are just a mental factor. It's a fact. It's just an appendage that looks at something. The interpretation of it and how you feel comes from the mind, right?
Dog, animal interpret it, animal, dog. When they see you, they move their tail. Are they happy or not happy?
Yeah, because it is also in their mind because they see somebody who feeds them.
They interpret it to you. Oh, they associate with good food.
Yeah.
I have one cat called Ningje. Whenever Steve comes, she go meow, 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 meow. Then I say, kind of like, I never heard that word. Like, then Steve say, oh, Ningji associated me with good food. I asked, do you mean I don't feed her well? I'm not sure, like, do really anyone associate someone with good food or no? I'm not sure, huh?
Yeah, my mom feeds my dog human food. So my dog
I mean,
associates her with the good human food.
But they associate with good food. Now, good food, there's a level. Do anyone associate someone with good food? Of course, for the food, like, understand. So anyway, so, so someone who's not mentally stable, like say, when you say crazy, I'm not sure here when you say, your word crazy has been used in so many different contexts. So end of the day, you get confused. But in Tibetan, Nyomba means like mentally unstable. That's the crazy. That's the only word called Nyomba been used. They don't use for like, here the crazy has been used for like, oh, that's really crazy means like, I'm not sure, they use in so many different contexts, it doesn't make sense. Anyway, so crazy Nyomba means like, that's why alcohol called like, the alcohol is called like crazy water. Why it's called? Because when you drink, you become crazy. I'm not sure how much, but you know, you choose to do that. That term is in the Vinayaka Sutra taught by Shakyamuni Buddha. Nyuchu Sudha, Nyuchu. Anyway, so so there is, so Panditji, we can debate maybe later when we have more time. We can debate about that. But right now I'm going with the text. Not here, but other texts. There's pleasure by looking, pleasure by hearing, listening. These are called sensory pleasure or sensory happiness. So how many of them we get just thinking about yourself? How many? Very little, very little. Get from others, Other created something, we get pleasure. Other cook something, we smells good. Other make some delicious, we taste. Other makes music, we listen. So other make fabric very smooth, we wear. Many. This is nothing to do with about God to put us a way of life. They're just practical things. So that is the thing. That is the thing. Give it somebody. No, that's not what I'm trying to say. So now here, all my friends here and on the online, What is the cause of happiness? What is the cause of happiness? What is the cause of happiness? Happiness, we are talking about sensory pleasure, sensory happiness, mental happiness. It's caused by thinking. There's no other way. Mental happiness is caused by thinking, meaning meditations. They could generate mental happiness, no doubt. So now what is the primary cause of, why certain people has no opportunity to see some beautiful things? Why certain people has access to all the beautiful things they can see? Why was that? What's the cause of happiness? What's the cause of happiness? Something to think about. Why some people have to be born in a country there's like pollutions all the time? Even can hardly see the clear sky. It's like thick, it's like smoke. Why was that? Why some people was born in a country there's like clear sky all the time? So now the karma. Yes, karma. What is karma? It's just religious belief or what? What is karma? Who created karma? Well, as an American, our president created karma. I have nothing to do with that. It's not like that. Who created karma? It's karma. There's Sanskrit word, karma. Tibetan called le. What is karma? So there's Buddhism, there's many things need to learn and educate and otherwise meditating tuba mebe gomjende langdum thala zabatas. Person without, what do you call this, from here to here?
Forearm.
Person without forearm, it's impossible to climb the mountain. How are you going to climb? Meditating without knowledge is like that. What you are meditating on? You just sit like this. No, that's why last few Sundays ago, what is meditation? Why we meditate? For what? Very important three questions need to ask. So karma, what is karma? Oh, it's Sanskrit word karma. Tibetan called le. What is le now? What is karma? That leads back to three doors: body, spirit, and mind. In English, word simply means actions. Actions like what actions? Physical, mental, verbal, three actions. So now, eventually, something is start to make sense. Something start to make sense. That's why I'm always telling it's complicated. It's very complicated. It's not like judging or looking down. It's very complicated. It's very complicated. Even though you have wished to free every being from pain, it's this wonderful wish that you would get maximum benefit, but practically it's very complicated. One could say because of karma, actions. So practically, we get much more benefit if we manage to transform our speech into noble one, mind into noble one, physical action into noble actions. We get maximum benefit. So in this life that you can see, that don't have to imagine, then of course you get maximum benefit. If something goes beyond this, you get maximum benefit. That's called, what is called in Buddhism is called virtues. Virtue, called gyewa. Virtue of body, speech, and mind. Virtue of body, speech, and mind. That's what's called virtue. It's the cause for happiness. cause for happiness. Then like evil actions from speech, body, mind cause some. It begins as a problematic, and it ends with problems. It doesn't end with happiness. Even though if we believe, oh, shouting probably will get something, mistake, ignorance, mistake. It's not wisdom. This is a practical thing. So there's also important things. So it's all boils down. There's taking care of yourself. There's nothing wrong. That's what learning the nature of samsara is all about, how to liberate yourself, then help others. Thinking about yourself, there's nothing wrong. In Buddhism, thinking about yourself, there's nothing wrong. Thinking only for yourself is not good, according to Mahayana practice, not good. Thinking about yourself is your moral responsibility, there's nothing wrong. But needs to be a little bit smarter. There's a smarter way to think about yourself. The smarter way to think of yourself is to generate a bodhicitta. That's the best way of thinking of, that's the best way to think of yourself. Okay? Sorry, it's just 7 o'clock now. It's just 7. Oh, you are hallucinated, or I'm hallucinated. Huh? We have hour and a half to go. So we stick with the practical. So that's practically 7 o'clock. 8 o'clock, we just made it up. We human made it up. Then we believe it's 8 o'clock. Actually, it's not 8 o'clock, it's 7 o'clock. And who knows, even 7 o'clock or 5 o'clock. Maybe there's no clock. We make things up, so that we believe. Did you? You know, when you hear word selfish, in Buddhism, it has only negative connotations, meaning just thinking of yourself. That's exactly what it means. Selfish means just thinking of yourself, only thinking of yourself. There's nothing for others, nothing. So that's the meaning of selfish. When you hear word selfish, rangchenzi, that's how it sounds in Tibetan, rangchenzi, just thinking of yourself. That's called selfish, has meaning, just thinking of yourself. There's nothing else for others. So that's not the best way to survive happily, not heavily, happily within the humanities. That's not the best way to survive happily within the humanities. Just only thinking about yourself, only thinking of yourself. So that's the fact. Then Bodhisattva path teach that very clearly. Okay, so working for others is the good things. Is the best way to get maximum benefit. Then he's always I'm going to talk about the exchanging WhatsApp with others that practice below, little later on. Based on this practice, I think that I mentioned also in Switzerland, so they have like this practice, this psychology is quite famous in Switzerland, so maybe also the other part of Europe too. So they're like famous like psychiatrist called Jung. Yeah, Carl Jung. Carl Jung has been widely studied in the psychology society in Switzerland. So, so then now here also you say being in other people's shoes. You use that term here too? No, the different, the way is word is different. Meaning is talking about bodhicitta, that's all. It's talking about bodhicitta path. So what that means, being in other people's shoes, what that means when people say, what it means? Empathy. Yeah. Is this like good things? Yeah. Exchanging oneself with other, yoga of exchanging oneself with other, same thing. That is different way of wording, but the same thing. Being in other people's shoes, same thing. Same thing, yeah. Then kalde nganzu nyamlen de la khomba inasi. Shenam nganzu rani la kechawa junji. The only problems, there's many complications. The problem that we don't think like this. We don't think like this. You know. Something happened, ego takes over. Ego immediately, without second or delay, bodhicitta doesn't take over, ego takes over. Immediately. Because no wonder why that so fast. Because live with that since the beginning this time. No wonder why. No, should not wonder. No, why so ego takes over. So that's why I said Sunday meditation really teach you to sit back, take your time, think, and be practical. Be practical. Then help also accept, letting go. All of that meditation teach us. Meditation really teach us how to not to react and super react, super fast, take time, sit back, think. There's tons of solutions. It doesn't have to be like that. It has, before you reach to that conclusion, there's tons of options. But we don't think. We super fast, then we overreact super fast. Then what do we do? The worst case scenario, you feel guilty, not good. So meditation, as I said a few Sundays ago, meditation really helps you to taking time, sitting back, thinking, assessing situation with clear mind. All of that is the result of meditation. Considering other happiness is something very important. That's the result of bodhicitta practice. Moment you respect other people's happiness and joy, you get some joy, some happiness. The moment you destroy that, then it's same as like destroying your own happiness. But we don't see that because we don't think like that. So meditation is very good. It's very good. May need a lot of help. If you remember certain verses from like Lamrim or that, if you repeat that, because it is all helping you not to overreact, super fast react. It allows you to take your time, you sit back, you are thinking, and then you are maybe remembering now that verses that you are saying. It's kind of like really like helpful, very helpful, helpful. So then outcome will be much different. Temporarily, there might be some pain, but down the road, there will be like greater pleasure than pain. Because ego push. That's why meditation fight back with the ego. Meditation push back, ego down. So then the wisdom rise. So then do it again, then slowly, letting go, accepting, letting go. These things happen, these things slowly happens. So then, it's very good, so go gewa, so meditation. Shinji dungan nam, shinji dewada dungan nam, nganzu dungada kechi mu jusa. Shin la tsewa chena, nganzu teni rangi la tsewa chabad nyinguyas. So now eventually something click, inside click. Then the thinking kind of switch. Now you're thinking, oh, destroying other people's happiness is destroying my own happiness. Before you don't see that. Now you see, oh, pain for others means pain for me. Now you see pretty much same thing. So that's why you have more friends, more people like to hang out with you because you're always kind, respectful, treat them with dignity. So this all happens. So now there's something click here, and then the thinking kind of switch. So that's like the result of the practicing bodhicitta. Shinji dungan nang, shinji dewada dungan nang nganzu dedu le jang kechen bu juz. Shen la tsewa jana nganzu ni teni rangi la tsewa jana nigoy. Nganzu rang jinzi ji nimi da shen jinzi ji pinyo toba ina shen den zhuba da rang den to lamu yis, rang den to lamu yis. Then you may say, oh, why I do that? If you are looking for happiness, maybe that's the best choice. If you're looking for happiness, because your way of doing things doesn't produce much happiness. It's not just 2 days ago. It's since I was born. I've been doing this since I was born. Are you satisfied? Not really. Are you doing the same thing again? Yeah, I'm doing the same thing again. Maybe time to wake up, time to rethink. So, why I should think like this? If you're looking for happiness, that's the best way to look. That's the best path of practice that brings you more happiness. How do I know? Need to try. So then, need to try. Oh, there's so much you can say in words, but need to implement. Then you will see. Oh. Shenjintu bada rande to warlamu ira nganzu dashin nyamjini kayo layo do juni shinji chido suzu seja tongtu diru shen sewa ne simjen tamjen la kogoba yinsi. Nganzu nyamli di kaka jinshi do samni pashumirza. Oh, this is so hard. It almost seems like impossible. I can't do. That's like, how you say, that's like you are kind of like discouraged, or your power of heart is like kind of like weakening. There's not much power in your heart. It's kind of, oh, I can't do, it's so difficult, I can do this, because then, there's not much power in your heart. Pa means like courage. The courage needs to be there. If the courage diminish, then there's not good. Then the jondar chene nyamlela kumbangoji netenshis. This is all based on whether this could happen or not could happen. It's all based on practice. Is that true? Very true. In the small scale, is it very true? Small scale. How I can tell with a small scale? When you do that, then you can do in big. That scale can be bigger. If you cannot do, then you can't do anything. Right from the beginning, it's impossible. It's not like this. Dini jongdar means training. Nyamle, practice. Gom, whether you become familiar or not familiar with the training and the practice, this is all based on that. Pena mingzamya jigbe mishigla kumji tepjuyo bata. Pena mingzam koalanga jigbe mishigla kumji tepjuyo bata. No, so Buddha's lifetime, Angulmala, make familiar Angulmala. Angul means thumb. Mala means rosary, wearing a rosary of thumb. How many people there's been killed? It's called like in Tibet it's called semutewa. Looks like you kill that many people, probably looks like you have no chance. When you look at it, you're impossible, no chance. No, that person has chance. That person managed to liberate himself from samsara. How that happens? Oh, making familiar with training and practice. That's how it happens. Oh. Now we talk about guilt. How that person come out of guilt, killing 999 human beings. Just think about that. Making familiar with the training and practice, that's how it happens. Oh. Yeah, so should not think, oh, I don't have chance, I can't do this because of this, it's so difficult. No. So the Angulimala, that's a good example, Angulimala. And here didn't say, his only didn't say, I just remember the Angulimala, his only didn't mention about him. So Mingzam Koya Jigbe Mishikla Hang, Komji Tepju Yobatangs. In the ancient time, in the history of the civilizations, there's like empire everywhere, empire. Some of the empire, the moment they hear their name, they almost like faint, like so, like I say, violent, so violent. Even if there's somebody bring this name, you can kind of get shivered, like so violent. Those persons could change. Look at Ashoka, the King Ashoka in India, become Buddhist. Early part of life, people when they hear Ashoka's name, they are terrified because he killed probably many people. So if that empire change mindset, yeah, you can change. You didn't kill anyone, so you can change. Compared to them, you are in much better positions. So these people, Mingzamya Jigbes, even just hearing a name, you kind of like terrified. That person exists there, so we don't have to go that far. It still exists there. Complete teachers, even those people can be tamed. Oh. How? Making familiar with the training. What training? Oh, read Guide to Buddha's Way of Life. There's tons of information, how to train yourself, how to train your mind, read and reflect, contemplate. Oh, there's no shortage of information. There's so much knowledge you can learn. That kind of training. How to make familiar. Don't think once a while, think again, think again. That's the way to make them familiar. How you become so familiar making tea? Oh, I made every single day. That's how you become familiar. You don't become familiar just making one day. Again. Oh, becoming familiar with the training and practice. That's how things change. That's how change takes place. What kind of training, what kind of practice here? There's all the training, all the practice. There's no shortage of that. We have the best. Best of the best of everything. Guide to Buddhist way of life. 100% that can guide you all the way to enlightenment. No questions, no doubt. many Vajrayana practice. It's there, it's the best of the best. Lama Tsongkhapa practice the same thing. There's no separate teaching. They practice the same thing. Same thing. His Holiness Dalai Lama is doing the same thing. They're practicing. His Holiness now officially, publicly telling he managed to generate bodhicitta. How? Reading, thinking, meditating every day, thinking about bodhicitta every day. Now become so familiar with bodhicitta. How? Familiar with the training and practice. Thinking about that all the time. That's why. That's how. Making familiar. So we don't say all the time, say, oh, we have the best, I say, the teaching, this is the best as it can get. This is the best teaching. Kadam Leshe, Sejitima, Kadamba Master teaching is like the golden rosaries. Every bit's value, every bit's made out of gold. Like that, every teaching. It's no shortage of teaching. It's like the problem is not making familiar with the training and practice. That's what is lacking, nothing else. That's what is lacking. So with that, becoming familiar with training and practice, things change. Your mind will change for better. Your mind will change for better. You could become bodhisattva. Of course, possible. Very possible. That's how someone becomes bodhisattva, becoming familiar with the training and practice. That's how they become. So then, as I mentioned before, this is the hardest thing to do, but the best things to do. Best thing to do. Even just one day, that's the best thing to do. Just even just one day, that's the best thing to do. Not the easiest thing to do, but it's the best thing to do. So making familiar. First intellectually, so need to read or learn, or then think, so then think every day. So then especially when we are facing challenge, that moment, if you can think about bodhicitta, you will be 100% safe. Your happiness will be 100% safe. Happiness for other people will be 100% safe. That's the one that becomes more priority than anything else. Anything else. Losing luggage, that's not the important things. Important things is happiness. My happiness, other happiness is the same thing. So the losing luggage does not become the priority. Priority is bodhicitta. So therefore you are safe. Your happiness has been safe. Other people's happiness has been safe. Losing luggage doesn't become the distraction. Distraction for your happiness. That. So then eventually you get better and better. So right now, so even though reading all the time, but sometimes, when we need, we don't have. Even one drop, we don't have. So that's why His Holiness says, becoming familiar with the training and practice. What kind of training, what kind of practice? Guide to Buddhist way of life. If you are admired, if you are inspired by bodhicitta, this is the best book to read. Best book to read. If you are very much inspired, motivated, this is the good book to read. So then remember certain words, stanza there, so then repeat that in your mind. So then slowly, It takes time. Change will take place, but it takes time. It takes time. It takes time. It's worth it. It's worth it. That is maybe just stop here. So then, so maybe some of you may be tired of hearing the same topic, concentration. Now we are almost finished. Yeah. Looks two more Wednesday class on concentration, 2 more Wednesday, then we are done. But becoming familiar is not done. Please don't confuse. Becoming familiar is not done. Becoming familiar is just begin. But the study is done. So then, what probably you may remember that what Rinpoche said, eat with bodhicitta, shop with bodhicitta, sleep with bodhicitta. Is that possible? It's very possible. Very possible. Everything become meaningful. Sleeping become meaningful. Before there's no meaning, now it has purpose. Eating has purpose. Walking, taking care of your health has purpose, has meaning. Going to gym has meaning, now meaning. Everything has meaning, can be done with bodhicitta. Okay? Oh yeah, thank you. Thank you.
So in the Gold Prayer Book, please turn to page 235 and 236, and we'll recite stanzas 1 through 5. Gewa di nu du dak lama sangye du gyune do wa chi kyang malupa de yi sala Kerpa Shog Janshu Sencho Rinpoche Ma Ke Panam Ke Gyuchi Ke Wanyam Pa Me Payang Gone Gondu Pelwa Shog Jampel Power Jita Kempadang Kundu Zampo Deyan De Jinte Dedan Kungi Jesu Da Lochir Gewa Dida Tancherap Tungo Dusun Shepe Gewa Tancheki Ngoa Ganla Chotunga Pade Dashe Gewe Tawadi Kunkyang Sampo Chirchirap Tunowagi Dagi Jine Sape Gewadi Tenda Doa Kunla Gampedan Kepar Jetsun Lo Sanda Pai Tempenin Poring Du Selje Sho. And then the long life prayers, first two on page 244 for His Holiness. Gandira we korwe shinkam dir pendan dewa malu shunwene chere sigwan tenzing yatso I jape site bar tu tengu chi. Then 245 for Sarah J. Cantor Pushe Jetson Losandak. Jonu iya nala wa shotu awatare tembara sopa losange we deton le palchog jasyon gengir lama soa deb. Then the inside back cover for Lama Zopa Rinpoche. Peerless teacher and assembly of the children of the victorious one, Shravakas and Pratyeka Buddhas, victorious Losang father and sons, along with the lineage masters, all the objects of refuge of the infinite lands, please bestow the virtue and goodness of accomplishing this prayer here and now. Holding and spreading the Muni's precious and complete teachings through explanation and practice, you wore the armor of patience that is never discouraged. Incomparable, venerable Guru, to you I make request. While striving single-pointedly for the sake of the victorious one's teachings, the sole gateway through which all benefit and happiness emerge, and for mother living beings, you suddenly departed peace. What a great loss. Nevertheless, through the undeceiving truth of the blessings of the ocean of the three jewels, and the great waves of bodhicitta of the children of victorious ones, may the smile of a reincarnation swiftly beam in glory for fortunate disciples. Then on the inside front cover for the long life of Geshe, Gebelam no dempe de puncho leshe dampe terweni morje churki zawa mi ton chenen chok da papon lama sabtenchi. Supreme God, you lead us on the many paths of virtue. A shining sun, you give us the best of excellent explanations. Supreme virtuous friend, you are constant Dharma companion. Lama who has renounced maim, may you ever remain. And then the long life prayer for Geshe Sampo. Gewe churki bachara tenching, pel de la me danyan nin la chang, zampo jawe nin se da shepe, chenen chepo kutserap tenching. Oh, I didn't change it on this. Yeah, I didn't change it on the, yeah, this should be pel de la me danyak nin la chang. You who have steadfast imprints of virtuous qualities and keep the instructions of the glorious Guru in your heart, you who pass day and night with noble activities, great virtuous friend, may you have a very long life. And then 7 Tara mantras for to benefit all beings. Om Tare Tu Re Soha. 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 So.
Good night, everyone online. See you soon.
Good night, Linda.